Hello and welcome back to the channel. It's another preparation video. I bought yet another Range Rover. As you know, I quite like to get these into stock, but this one needs a little bit more prep than normal. It is starting out as a really, the bases are that it's a really nice Range Rover. It's a 4.4 SDV8. It's an Autobiography trim. It's a 2015 and it's only done 77,000 miles. Mechanically, very, very sound. There are no leaks coming from anywhere, and the history is great. Cosmetically, I wish I could say the same, but not quite. But let's get into it. I'll show you around. So, it also has a bit of a body kit on it, and I don't mind it at all. I quite like them when they're done right. It's a brand I have heard of, but dare to kind of pronounce what that is. Barugzai? Don't know. But essentially, got this cool looking front bumper. First bit you can see, headlight washer is missing. That looks like it's just an ordinary sized Range Rover one, so I'm not too fussed about that. Obviously, as part of the kit, got these big 22-inch alloy wheels, and they are mullered on the edge. So we're going to have to get those refurbished. Already got it booked in. Bit of trim. That's already clipped back in, so that's the first job done. Also got deployable side steps. So you'll see on this side, it's in. And if I open it up, the step comes out. That's good. That's good news. On this side, however, it's always out. Quite a common thing that these motors need to be kind of freed up. So need to get that one on the ramp to do that. There you go. That's another alloy there. As you can see, in desperate need of a refurb, but disc and pads look all right. The thickness of the brake pads in there. Obviously, it's the big Brembo pads, because it is the 4.4, and the tyres are all relatively fresh. They've got decent tread on those there. But yes, another one to sort is that. We're also missing a door handle cover. Doesn't affect it what it is. Still opens it and everything like that, but the cover is missing. Oh, step was trying to go in and then came back out. Also has what looks like a SVR style rear bumper, which again I think looks quite cool. I don't mind it at all. Had a tow bar fitted last year. I've got an invoice for it, but what I don't have is the key, and it's been locked in, so I need to somehow get rid of that. I have done it before where these key bits here, they're not the most structural things, so you can almost break into it, and I'm sorry if you're thinking that your detachable tow bar is incredibly safe just because it has that little lock on it, but we're going to give that a go. So yeah, that's just the basis of it to begin with. It also used to have Range Rover badges. You can just about see that it's in there. And I'm going to get some Range Rover, I'm going to get some silver lettering just to break up all of the black, really. Well, I think that's probably the best way to do it. Same on the front bumper, bonnet as well, sorry. Can't see it so much on there, but I'm going to give it a good polish up. But mechanically sound, drives really, really well. I think it also has some kind of exhaust upgrade as well, because when you're going along, it does sound a little bit throatier. I know the 4.4s do anyway, but yeah, I mean, that's the external bit. At a brief glance, we may well find some more that we need to do as we go. Coming on to the interior, as usual, you'd notice in previous videos I've done the Range Rover, this ivory, it does wear on the handle there. Needs an almighty clean of its life, but as I say, just coincidentally, it's 77,777 miles as it stands. Being 4.4 Autobiography, you get these wicked seats. They're heated and ventilated, and electric memory settings, etc. Got an opening pan roof with the black headlining, which is nice. I like this colour combination between the ivory and the black. Got a heated steering wheel, got the adaptive cruise control, but got the ambient lighting and everything like that as well. Just a nice spec car. Obviously got the rear heated seats back there too. But yeah, just needs an almighty clean. Got the Meridian sound system as well, which is absolutely fantastic to have on this. So if I jump in, and I start it up, airbag light goes out, always takes a second or two after. Washer fluid's a very normal thing, but it might well come up with, and we're going to put it through for a service, another fault code, which it did when I was driving it back yesterday. So if I try and, it's working now. So yesterday There we go, suspension in extended mode, normal height selected. So it goes up and down slightly, but I think it's quite a common thing on these with the air compressors. You can replace just one part of the compressor, but I think it's always best just to replace the whole thing. You can get some really good aftermarket ones, don't get the cheapest one that's out there, but you can get some really good aftermarket ones and fit that. But it came up with a message yesterday saying it was normal height only, of which there is a temperature sensor, and that's the bit that you can replace. But I think it's probably best just to replace the whole thing. And it also has another warning that came up saying IEB or AEB not available, which essentially is like forward alert. And then because of that, and because it's the adaptive cruise control, it won't necessarily set the cruise because it doesn't know how far the car is in front. So yeah, it also has a couple of bits mechanically to sort out in terms of just the air suspension compressor. It's a relatively common thing. I'm not too worried about that at all. And I'm hoping the radar's just dirty, because I have had it, and especially this time of year where the radar's just gotten dirty, you can give it a good clean and shine it all up, and then you don't have any issues with it going forward. But I am pleased with the purchase. I bought it from a regular trader that I deal with. He's driven it around for a little bit. I've also driven it around for a couple of days, so very, very happy with the engine and the gearbox. Everything like that's all fine, but do need to take a look at the air suspension side of things and this front radar. All lights are working, headlights and everything like that. Heated and ventilated seats work all the way around. So yeah, and it's got the fridge in here, that's all nice and cold and everything. It will make a nice car, I know it will, but just needs a fair bit of love. So yeah, stick with me. We're going to go through it in this video, and we're going to prep it for sale, and you'll see what it looks like as the finished article, and I'll go through all the costings and everything like that, and then at the end we'll see what you think. Hopefully you like it. Okay, so I have ordered this cover here from Roger Young. They're a family-owned Land Rover dealership, and I've also ordered the handle cover as well. Both come primed, so I do need to get them painted, but my plan was to get it across to John, who does my smart repairs for me, and I'll also get him to do the leather on the driver's door card as well. They were reasonably priced, considering they were genuine, and they are just plastic covers. That, you know, I'll always try and get it where I can, and of which they were. It was about 14 quid plus of that for that one, and about 16 quid plus of that for the handle cover. I then asked for a quote on the Range Rover lettering, just some standard silver Range Rover lettering. They wanted £40 plus that per word, and obviously I needed 2 lots of Range and Rover. That's ridiculous. That is really quite crazy just for some silver lettering, especially when you can go online. So I actually went onto Amazon of all places, and I managed to get 2 sets of the Range Rover lettering for about 30 quid. So that was well worth doing, and it'll arrive tomorrow, which is awesome news. So the next thing that we're going to do is try and get this sorted. So yeah, the plan is really just to drill out the keyhole, use a bit of a screwdriver, jimmy it around. The tow bar is still going to be perfectly usable, and you can still obviously give it with the car when I come to sell it. They just won't be able to lock it, but I think it's probably worth doing, only because if I open the boot, and again, it does all need a good clean, but what I have got is the diffuser to go where the tow bar currently is, and it's obviously a special diffuser that goes with the kit. Again, looking a bit more SVR like. I'd rather it had that than just the tow bar that was stuck there. So so that's my plan next. Let's get to it. And there we go, wasn't too bad to do, and it looks absolutely spot on now. It looks far better than it did. I'm all for towing with Range Rovers, I think that's what they're designed for, but it certainly looks better without having the tow bar there all the time. As I say, the tow bar is still perfectly usable. I've got it on the boot floor now, so it's still locking. The lock is a little bit messy, doesn't stop its functionality, but as I say, I can't get that key to be able to take it off properly. It still has a tow bar, but just looks so much better with the diffuser. As I say, the kit's really growing on me. Normally I'm not a massive fan of the modified stuff, but But I quite like it. It looks quite good. I think the black certainly helps. So the next step is to polish the rear tailgate. So we'll just clean that up a little bit on here. Get the polisher on it, ready for the lettering to turn up tomorrow. I've got the wheels booked in. They're going out and they're going into the wheel shop on Tuesday. It's currently Thursday, so a couple of days to wait for that. But then hopefully the covers will turn up before then. I'm hoping that John can squeeze it in on Monday to do the door handle and paint the 2 covers. Wheels will be done on Tuesday. Lettering will be here tomorrow. So it is starting to come together rather quickly, and I'm looking forward to it looking as it should and being on our stock range. So yeah, on to the next. There we go, polished up. Can't see the remnants of where the letters were. Obviously we'll have to measure it up and do it properly. But that's looking way better already. So that's all I've got time for today. We've got an Audi A8 going out tomorrow, so we're going to swap this one out, get the A8 in, clean that, make sure it's ready for its handover. But we'll catch up when the letters come through. We'll get those fitted, and also hopefully those parts won't take too long. So yeah, stick with it. It is already starting to look better. I'm getting quite excited about it now. Okay, so just a quick update. It's been a couple of days. The alloys have now been refurbished, and I have to say they look fantastic. It's really starting to come together now. I'm getting quite excited as to what it will look like. I've also had the parts that we've been waiting for, so that's the handle cover and the washer jet cover. They're both in primer, so I'm going to drop them down to John now so that he can finish it in Santorini black, so it's the same as the car. We're going to get it outside, give it a good wash with the pressure washer, bring it back inside, give it a polish, and then also fit the Range Rover badges because they've arrived too. Okay, so washed it, dried it off. These parts are now down with John. I should get those back within the next day or two, which will be good. Obviously, it's a really good indication once it's all been washed and dried what the paintwork is like. It's okay. It's not the best, but there are areas that are really quite good. So the bonnet looks all to be quite nice, but just on the doors and bits, I think it's been previously polished, and some of which needs to be repolished. But I'll try and show you some marks. So it's a bit hazy. You might be able to see on the camera there, a bit hazy and a bit hazy here. You can see almost like a spot. So 2 spots of haziness there. But as I say, the bonnet all looks to be quite good, which is nice. There's no nasty car parking dinks or anything like that down the side. I'll give you a better look at these alloys. As I say, I wasn't totally convinced on them when I first had it, but now that they've been refurbished, I think they look really good. Looks really cool with the red Brembo brake calipers as well. There's another scratch here, which I'm going to give it a good go to make that a bit better. But other than that, just that driver's door, I think is the worst of it. And then we're going to get on to doing the Range Rover badges on both the bonnet and also the tailgate. Washed up around the hinge near the motor, and it's still sticking out. So as I say, that new motor is going to be here today. So it is slowly but surely starting to come together. Let's get the polisher out and get onto it. Okay, so prep for the badges. Unusually big box to send 2 of these, but got 2 sets. It's really important that you have the ones with the templates that you can put them on, because obviously it does all the spacing and everything for you. I've had them turn up before without that and didn't even bother trying because it's going to be impossible and it won't look like it should be. So let's get to it. That looks so much better with those Range Rover badges on. Really pleased with that. I think it brings a certain elegance back to the car. Polish worked well on this door here. It's got rid of the haziness, which is nice. I've also polished a couple of other bits around the bodywork, but yeah, looking really good. Obviously got the badges on the front as well. I think it just brings a little bit of its original look back, which then ties in nicely to have the body kit, which is good, so really pleased with that. Needs an almighty clean on the inside still. It's booked into the workshops tomorrow. It's having the new side-step motor fitted, a full service carried out, a fresh MOT, and obviously anything that it needs in terms of advisory, and also the air compressor is going to be looked at for the suspension too. And then hopefully I'll have that back tomorrow night, if not Friday. It's Wednesday today. And I shall have some other bits to fit, such as the handle cover and the washer jet cover, and then we're pretty much there, I think. You know, I'm getting closer and closer to getting it ready to sail, and I think it looks fantastic, being the 4.4 with the body kit. Really pleased with those badges. I think it just breaks up all of the black on the car. Yeah, really pleased. So hopefully there's nothing too unexpected in the service tomorrow at the workshops, but we'll find out. Okay, so it is now Wednesday. I have had this Range Rover for 3 weeks and it still isn't advertised. It's quite often the case when we're doing the prep we do. Got it back from the workshops. The service and the MOT were absolutely fine, which is what I was, obviously fingers crossed for. There were a couple of additional extras that we did have to wait for parts, which is why obviously it's been delayed. I was hoping to get it back Friday last week. You remember the left side step wouldn't retract. That now obviously works, but it needed a new side step motor, which we had already. But then we also needed the bracket of which that motor attaches to. Excuse my dog. So we needed a new bracket as well, which we got genuine to the side step motor. We get that aftermarket. It's about £180, but it's a really decent brand with a good warranty. But the bracket, I thought I'll go for genuine. There wasn't an enormous amount of difference in the cost. So that was £190 plus the VAT for the bracket. So obviously that's now on and coded and works as it should. I've got these bits in my hand here, one of which is obviously the handle cover and one of which is the washer jet cover. So we'll fit that, and then that should kind of finish it off cosmetically. We're very, very nearing the point at which we can now comfortably sell it. Still needs a good valet on the inside, but we have spent an enormous amount of money, which I will total up at the end of this video, just so you can get some kind of idea as to what it is that we go through. As I say, it's now coming on 3 weeks and we still haven't advertised it, so we'll get the handle fitted. I'm hoping that that's a nice and easy fix. A little bit fiddly, needed both hands, but that's now on, nice and secure, so that's all good. And at the same time, did the washer cover jet as well, so it is now starting to look as it should. As I say, cosmetically on the exterior, really pleased. I think it looks really quite good. So now we're going to get onto the interior valet, which will take a good few hours, just given how dirty it is. But we'll catch up when it's looking proper.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have it douse, not what I'm about, have your cloud, it be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn.
Okay, so the Range Rover is now finished. I can finally come to advertise it, although not today, because again, we're waiting on a break in the rain. But I thought I'd just go through the entire prep list of what we spent on this car, because it's always interesting, yet sometimes eye-watering. This one's no exception, but it has made a really nice car. I am genuinely pleased with how it looks, and everything works as it should, and we've got it absolutely what it needs to be in order for us to feel confident when selling it. So we'll go through the pricings now. So the servicing and the MOT was £479.25. That does include the labour but not the cost of the parts for the side step motor, which was £216, the side step bracket, which was £222.42. We've then got an air compressor which needed to be done. That was £580.80. These are all inclusive of VAT, so it's about 480 quid plus the VAT. The labour to fit that, because that was done later, was £110. The handle cover was £17.95, and the washer jet cover £19.41. To get both of those painted in the black that this one is was £30. The Range Rover lettering was £30, and the number plates were £29.28. Obviously we do the valeting ourselves, and we also do the polishing and things like that, so we don't necessarily incorporate a set figure on each of our prep, but it is something to consider, given that it takes us a really long time too. So just that list there, the total preparation cost was £1,757.11. And of course that doesn't include the VAT element, which is obviously taken on a margin car between your purchase price and your sales price, regardless as to how much you spent on the prep. It literally is between those two figures. It doesn't include, you know, any outtakes of the income tax or the corporation tax. And of course we do a warranty for our vehicles for 6 months, of which we do. It's now a self-funded warranty, and it is working better for us, but we always have to put a decent chunk into the pot for that. So it doesn't include those additional costs on that, you know, £1,700. That's quite a chunk out of your margin when it comes to selling these Range Rovers. But again, I do like to prep them right, because I do want it to be that I sell it with confidence, and whoever buys it, I want them to enjoy the car as well. So yeah, I'm genuinely pleased with how it all looks. It's cleaned up really well on the inside here. As I say, we've had it for 3 weeks and we still haven't even advertised it, and I have had to spend £1,757.11 on it, and I can't even advertise it today because it's absolutely hammering down with rain. I mean, that is obviously seasonal in the sense of we're now into December. During the summer we really don't have that problem, because we tend to have longer days and they tend to be drier. So yeah, it's now waiting again for a couple of days to see if we can actually get it advertised. I do have a couple of people that I can ring on it, purely because it is a 4.4 SDV8, and I do have customers that are looking for that. So that could be quite good. See if that materialises into something. But I really hope that you've enjoyed our video as we prep this Range Rover, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really is building on the numbers, and I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you for the next one. Thank you.